When most people imagine presidential security, they picture an impenetrable fortress. But in reality, even the most protected events can contain hidden vulnerabilities. But real venues are complex ecosystems: hotels, public access points, service corridors, and executive zones operating inside the same structure. Protection depends on layers: outer perimeter, credential control, surveillance, screening, and rapid response systems designed to stop threats before critical access. Security failures rarely begin at the main checkpoint. More often, they emerge in the transition spaces between systems, corridors, stairwells, and overlooked routes. In elite protection environments, every second matters. Detection is critical, but response speed is what prevents a breach from becoming catastrophe. In complex venues, not everyone moves through the same system. Guests, staff, and executive personnel often follow entirely different access pathways. Modern protection relies on layered access control, credentials, identity verification, and zone permissions designed to stop unauthorized movement before it reaches critical areas. Surveillance networks are built to monitor movement continuously, but even extensive camera coverage can leave critical blind zones depending on timing, placement, and coordination. Security isn't only about people. Luggage, service routes, and logistical movement create separate operational layers that require synchronized screening and oversight. Even the most advanced security systems still depend on human execution, decisions, communication, and timing that can strengthen or weaken the entire protective structure. Within complex venues, movement can appear ordinary, but every transition between floors, corridors, and checkpoints changes the level of security scrutiny. In layered venues, stairwells and corridors are more than passageways. They are transition zones where movement complexity can challenge system coordination. The final checkpoint is where routine movement ends and hardened security begins, a compressed moment where response determines whether the inner perimeter holds. In elite protection systems, the difference between disruption and catastrophe is often measured in training, positioning, and response speed. Strong security systems can still weaken when communication between agencies, venue staff, and tactical teams fails to synchronize in real time. Public venues create unique challenges because hospitality infrastructure is built for accessibility, not originally for maximum executive-level containment. In confined venues, crowd density becomes a security variable, affecting visibility, movement speed, evacuation routes, and tactical maneuverability. Evacuation under pressure isn't just about exits. It's about separating leadership protection, civilian movement, and tactical control simultaneously. When multiple senior officials occupy one confined location, security shifts from individual protection to continuity of government-level risk management. In elite protective doctrine, the intervention window is measured in seconds, rapid enough to contain threats before strategic failure occurs. Modern executive protection doesn't rely on one barrier. It relies on layered fallback zones designed to preserve security even if outer systems fail. Executive protection is built on 5 principles: prevention, detection, delay, response, and continuity, because security is measured long before crisis begins. In high-level protection, redundancy is essential, because true security means preparing for system failure before it ever happens. The strongest security response is prevention, identifying vulnerabilities early enough that potential threats never gain momentum in the first place. After every security breach or close call, the real work begins, reconstructing timelines, decisions, and vulnerabilities to understand what failed. Security systems evolve through reform, because every vulnerability identified becomes an opportunity to strengthen the next layer of protection. The future of executive protection may rely increasingly on predictive intelligence, biometrics, and AI-driven systems designed to identify anomalies before threats materialize. No matter how advanced a protection system becomes, security is never absolute, because the greatest vulnerabilities are often the gaps nobody anticipated. In the end, security is not a fortress. It is a living system, constantly adapting, because protection depends on evolving faster than the next unseen threat.